Welcome to part 2. Before I get started, I just want to say that the descriptions I'm going to use are very simple, very basic, and that is because I want to keep it very simple and very basic, so it's easier to understand. So, first of all, we need to cover the elements. There are 4 elements: fire, earth, air, and water. And you'll notice I have them color coded. Fire is red, earth is green, air is black, water is blue. And the color codes are something that I made up, but as you'll see here, it can be helpful. So, fire signs, or the fire element. It is enthusiastic and spontaneous. The earth element, practical and realistic. The air element, communicative and intellectual. The water element, emotional and intuitive. And every one of these signs is going to be one of those elements. One of these elements. But there's also something else. A sign is also going to be one of these: cardinal, fixed, or mutable. Now, cardinal signs have initiative and are enthusiastic. Fixed signs are resistant to change. And mutable signs are adaptable and flexible. And I really didn't use the color code as much here. So, let's look at fire. And let's look at the signs. First of all, I have fire as red. So that means Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius are also red, so they're fire signs. Earth is green, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Air is black, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Water's blue, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And you'll also notice fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. It just goes on and on in a circle. Fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. All the way around. Now, cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Why do I have cardinal red but the other two black? Well, if we look at this chart or this zodiac I have drawn here, you'll notice there's a vertical line and a horizontal line. A horizontal line and a vertical line that's red, and the other ones are black. Well, because the zodiac is going to twist like this, and so you're going to want to look at it going this way. On your natal chart, it's going to go this way. This is how you're going to look at it on your natal chart. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, the signs go this way, but it twists clockwise. So, Aries is a cardinal sign. It's right next to the red line. Cardinal, I have red. Cancer is a cardinal sign. It's right next to that red line. Cardinal's red. Libra is a cardinal sign. It's right next to that red line, so cardinal is red. Capricorn's a cardinal sign, so cardinal's red. Capricorn's next to that red line. The other fixed immutable, they're black. Now, that means just like with the elements, there's a pattern to cardinal, fixed, and mutable. These three qualities. It's going to go cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. So that means Aries is cardinal, Taurus is fixed, Gemini is mutable, Cancer is cardinal, Leo is fixed, and Virgo is mutable, and on around. So cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. Notice I always start right here at the beginning of Aries. It always starts at the beginning of Aries. And so, to recap, fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth, air, water, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. Always starts with Aries. And on your birth chart, the signs will go around this way. Now, they could be in different positions. Like, you might have, it might start with Aries. Aries might be over here, up there, over here, but it's still, the zodiac is going to start wherever Aries is, and it's going to go all the way around and end with Pisces. So let's go over the signs. And let's start with Aries. Aries the ram. Aries, that's its glyph, its symbol. And Aries is a fire sign and it's cardinal, so it's enthusiastic and spontaneous. It has initiative and it's enthusiastic, so double enthusiastic, you could say. Next, let's go to Taurus. Taurus the bull. It is a fixed earth. So it's practical and realistic, and it's resistant to change. Next is Gemini. Gemini, the twins. Gemini is air and it's mutable. So it's going to be communicative and intellectual, and it's going to be adaptable and flexible. Next is Cancer, the crab. I might have got that backwards, but just think of a 6 and a 9. Cancer is water and it's cardinal. So emotional and intuitive, and it has initiative and it's enthusiastic. Next, we have Leo, the lion. Leo is fixed fire. So It is enthusiastic and spontaneous, and it's resistant to change. Next, we have Virgo. Virgo the Virgin. Virgo is mutable earth, and that's going to be practical and realistic and adaptable and flexible. Next, we have Libra. Libra, the scales, or the scales of judgment. Libra is cardinal air, and air is that means it's going to be communicative and intellectual, and it has initiative and it's enthusiastic. Next, we have Scorpio. Scorpio the Scorpion. Scorpio is fixed water, so it's emotional and intuitive, and it's resistant to change. Next, we have Sagittarius the Centaur. Sagittarius is mutable fire, so it is enthusiastic and spontaneous and adaptable and flexible. Next is Capricorn, the goatfish or goat devil. And I've seen two different symbols or glyphs that it's been written with. One, it looks like this, and the other will look something like that. Both of those means the same thing, Capricorn. Capricorn is cardinal earth, so it's practical and realistic, and it has initiative and it's enthusiastic. Next, we have Aquarius, the water bearer. And contrary to the name water bearer, contrary to that, Aquarius is an air sign. In astrology, it's an air sign. In mythology and astrotheology, it deals with water. But that's another topic. So Aquarius will look like this. Aquarius is fixed air. It's communicative and intellectual, but resistant to change. And lastly, we have Pisces the fish. And Pisces is emotional, and it's mutable water, so it's emotional and intuitive and adaptable and flexible. Now that we've covered the 12 signs, let's go to the sun. In astrology, the sun and the moon are considered planets. So, to start with, let's look at the sun. You all are familiar with the sun sign, but, well, most people are. But there is actually way more to it than just the sun sign. Here is all the planets and a few other things I'm going to cover later. So definitely more than just the sun sign. The sun, its symbol or glyph, looks like a circle with a dot in the middle of it. That's the sun. And the sun represents your ego, your core self, and your general characteristics. Next, let's go over the moon. I've seen it written two ways. It could look like this, look like a crescent like this, or it could also be facing the other way, or it could be facing that way. But it will be a crescent. The moon is your emotions, your intuition, and your inner self. Now, something else we need to cover is something called your ascendant. Now, you'll notice right here is a horizontal line. This red line here is horizontal line going across this chart. This red horizontal line represents the ground or the horizon. The DC or descendant and AC or ascendant. Because we also need to go over the ascendant. So, the descendant is the western horizon. The ascendant is the eastern horizon. So things go down in the west on the descendant, they come up in the east on the ascendant. So when we talk about the ascendant or rising sign, that is what sign is at this point when you are born, or at any given time and location. So, as I said, this whole thing rotates. So there's a sign. So one sign will be here, then another sign, then another sign. So whatever sign is at this location, your ascendant, the eastern horizon, whatever sign is there when you're born, that is your ascendant sign. Or it's your ascendant or your rising sign. And your ascendant is your outward image and the way others first perceive you. So these three things are what I would consider the absolute basic. You can't really get any kind of an accurate picture of someone without at least mentioning those three things. Sun sign alone, that's not accurate enough. But obviously, I mean, there's way more than these three things, sun, moon, and ascendant, as we can see. But if you want to have any type of a basic idea, sun, moon, and ascendant will be the basic idea of the person that you're looking at. So, let's do an example. Let's do a Taurus sun. And let's do a Sagittarius moon. And let's pretend that the sign Cancer, let's pretend it's over here. I know it's over here right now, but let's bring it over here. So we're going to pretend we're going to pretend it's right here, over here, at the Ascendant. So the Ascendant, let's pretend it's Cancer. Now, what do we know about the Sun? The Sun is your ego, core self, and general characteristics. Now, having that in Taurus, that means that your ego, your core self, and general characteristics are going to be practical and realistic and resistant to change. Right here. Now, your moon, your emotions, intuition, and inner self, having that in Sagittarius is going to mean that your emotions, intuition, and inner self are going to be enthusiastic and spontaneous and adaptable and flexible. And your Ascendant or rising sign, having Cancer there, that's going to mean that your outward image and the way others first perceive you is going to be emotional and intuitive and adaptable and flexible. That's the type of energy that's going to be there. That's how you would describe that energy. Now, it's also important to know that your moon sign is not always, you can't always notice that in someone when you first meet them. It's going to be more of after you get to know them for a while. First meeting someone, your Ascendant, that's going to come into play. Then as you get to know them, your Sun sign, you get to know them even more, then maybe you'll notice it, their moon sign. That's the general way it goes. There's obviously exceptions, but that's the general way it goes. So that's the basic. That's what I would call probably, you might say it's the big three. You might say it's the absolute basic if you want to have any type of an idea of who the person is. You at least need to have those three things, in my opinion. So that's it for part 2. And again, these descriptions are very basic. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, so it's as easy to understand as possible. And just know that each sign, you could probably write at least a page on each sign, if not more. But this is the basic idea of what the signs are and what the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant are. So that's it for part 2. Next will be part 3.